Hey, Black Bear Nation, this is Linda Costello, the assistant swimming and diving coach at the University of Maine. I'm excited to have three athletes joining us today on this meeting. We have two swimmers and a diver, and we're getting ready to celebrate National Girls and Women's in Sports Days, and they all have excellent backgrounds, more than just swimming and diving, which makes it unique and makes them bring all those things they've learned from other sports throughout their lives to kind of the Division I level. And I'm excited for you to meet kind of and learn a little bit about each and every one. So if you guys want to go one at a time and introduce yourselves, that would be great.
Hi, my name is Phil-Ann Dixon. I'm a diver. I am a junior on the team, and I am in the School of Nursing.
Hi, I'm Cameron Hargraves, and I'm a sophomore on the team, and I'm majoring in KP Exercise Science.
My name is Maggie White. I'm on the swim team, obviously, and I'm a senior. I am the co-president of SAC, and I'm a psychology and social work major.
Awesome. So the first question I have for you ladies we're going to talk about is, what is your earliest memory of playing a sport? And you guys can also kind of say where you're from, because you're from all over the country and some across the seas. So what is your earliest memory of playing a sport, and kind of where are you from as well?
I'm from Australia originally. I moved to America when I was 18, and I live in Massachusetts now. My earliest memory of playing a sport is probably dancing when I was little. I would always go with my dad, and he never knew how to put my hair in a bun, so my teacher would make an example out of me and do it herself in front of everyone. It's definitely my first experience.
So I'm from Wallingford, Pennsylvania, and my earliest memory in a sport was gymnastics. I think I was like a toddler, and I was climbing all over my dad's arm, and then they put me in the gym, and then I just kind of went from there, and I really enjoyed it, and I continued through ever since, and that's kind of how I got into diving.
I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and my first memory of a sport is I was 3 years old, and I would always run around the house. So my parents decided, why not give her some soccer cleats? And so they put me on the soccer field, and instead of me running on the soccer field, I would sit and pick the grass. And so then my mom decided we should stick with soccer to try to advance and then try swimming.
Awesome. Awesome. So next question, I'm excited to hear your answers because this is always kind of a big one. But who is your biggest inspiration for playing your sport that we're in?
My biggest inspiration is my grandpa, and he has motivated me so much because my whole family has swam on my dad's side. And so he was like, come on, give it a shot. Like, you can do it. And he was a coach all throughout high school. He started one of our biggest high school teams, and he was like motivating me and encouraging me. So I'd say he's my biggest inspiration in getting me into swimming.
I would say that my biggest inspiration is definitely my dad, because he was a competitive athlete as well, and he was always there supporting me through every single meet. And actually, nobody did diving or gymnastics, but my mom did a little bit of gymnastics, but they came to everything and just kind of cheered me on and supported me and drove me those long hours to meets and gymnastics competitions, and was always at every single dive meet in high school. So I'd say that my parents are definitely my biggest inspiration.
Mine too are definitely my parents, and as well as people I've kind of met along the way since being in college that have kind of experienced similar things that I have, that have been able to overcome them. My parents, especially, like swimming open water, like they would sit on the beach for an hour and 10 minutes and just stare at the water and kind of hope I'd cross the finish line at some point. So for them to do that and drive long distances makes me really happy that I've got some sort of support system back at home. And then I've met so many people along the way that have faced so many difficulties, and the fact that as a group being able to overcome them over time, it just shows that things can go wrong, but it's with hard work you can get back into it.
So the next question I've got for you ladies you can talk about different parts of your lives and why it's important to get involved in sports. So this can be young, when Cam was picking the grass in the field, but maybe that was also high school. So you can think about the different parts in your life, whether it's when you're younger, through high school, and now where you guys are all in college at different ages, kind of what what does sports mean and why is it important to be involved in them?
I think sports as a little kid is really important because it helps you to be social and well, even though Cam picks the grass, it helps you kind of get into sport, and it can really help in like school and stuff with school sports. And then I think as you get older, not only is it a good social part of your life, but it's also good for your mental health in the aspect that school is so stressful, and we're able to go to the pool after class or school in high school and take a break. And I think that it's really important to kind of continue with sports and make sure that we're encouraging other people to get involved in the sport, because it is such a positive aspect in everyone's life, whether we realize it or not.
I agree with Maggie. Definitely, as at a young age, it's important for that social aspect. I also think that it builds teamwork and a hardworking individual and perseverance, actually, and that carries with you through life almost. And you're going to have to go into those jobs and college and deal with colleagues and classmates and working together and just building off that teamwork and hardworking individual aspect. And I think it's important to get into that at a young age because it builds throughout your lifetime, and it helps you carry that over into big life events that you have following your completion of sports and athletics. And just staying in shape and staying active is important for your health. And I think it's great to get into sports at a young age for all of those factors and many more.
I agree with both of them 100%. And to build off both of them, I think starting sports at a younger age is very important because it also helps you develop your personality. Like you find interest in like what you want to grow from. And like just what Maggie said, like for me personally, sports really helps clear my mind. Like if I have a stressful day, it's so nice to be able to walk onto the pool deck, see all my teammates, the coaches, and everyone's just in such a positive atmosphere. They really help me get through my rest of my day. And like, yeah, it really helps with like your mental, physical, like all of the above. Like sports starting at a young age is very important just to base off like your personality and everything.
So a lot of you guys talked about, younger, how important sports were. Now that you've gotten older and you're in college, if you could look back at kind of your 8-year-old self and the sports you were in, what advice would you give yourself?
To wear your cap the right way. The seam has to go down the middle, not across the front. I learned that eventually. But I think just have a go. Like just because it's not the sport that you're used to. Like I played like every sport in the book, and like I didn't choose swimming chose me. Like I rolled out all the bowl sports, like they did not go well, many hits to the face. But like the point is that I gave it a go. And even if I was shoved onto the court by my parents, it just puts you in situations where you kind of have to just go with the flow. And I think that teaches you a lot.
Something I would tell my younger self or somebody younger than me getting into sports is to never give up, and don't be afraid of failure, because you're going to have to take one step backward to move 2 steps forward. And that goes for almost anything in life. You're never going to be able to get success without experiencing that failure. And I think that's something that a lot of people are scared of. And I don't think that you have to be scared of that in order to accomplish your goals. And also just to have fun with it and go with it. And it's going to take you to where you need to go. And when you're younger, that's the first thing that you're almost dedicated to is sports. And I think that carries through with everything. And so I would say take it as it goes and don't be afraid of failure, because ultimately in the end it's all about having fun.
Advice I'd give to like anyone younger and even myself is if something rough happens in your experience and like your time at like during the sport, don't give up. You have multiple choices. You can bounce back. It really helps with your determination. Like you get so much more motivated to work towards what you want harder, your goals. So just never give up. And like if something does happen, that gives you the cue of 110% to work harder towards what you're working for.
Very good answers, ladies. Another question I have for you is, what doors have sports open for you? So that can be your transition from high school to college. It can be what you're working on right now through your lives and learning about to get ready for that scary step beyond college that I'm confident you guys are all going to do very well in. So I'll let you kind of pick what direction you want to answer that question, but what doors have sports open for you?
I kind of have two directions. I think college sports has given me the opportunity to continue swimming in Australia, unless you're kind of like Olympic, got your eyes set on Olympics. Like there's not a lot for you. There is no college athletics. So coming over here really gave me the opportunity to continue with what I love. And it also gave me leadership opportunities that I never would have even like considered. Like with SAC, like I would have never guessed that I would be SAC co-president. Like I didn't even know what SAC was in freshman year, but I kind of got thrown into it and given the opportunity and just ran with it. And from there, I've been able to represent Maine at America East and run the Better Together initiative. And these are all opportunities that I can thank swimming for.
Swimming and diving have given me a lot of opportunities, honestly, but I didn't know what I wanted to major in until I actually committed. So Linda brought me here pretty much. And then as I was applying, I realized that like nursing was something that could be interesting. So athletics really did open the door for me into nursing, and that teamwork that I talked about earlier has built so much into my nursing career. And I'm a nurse's assistant in the ICU, and I don't think I would have been here and doing that if it wasn't for athletics as well. And so I think in that aspect, it has given me so much and just carved my path a little bit into where I want to go later in life. And then aside from that, it has brought me so many friends and like teammates that I'm going to keep for life that I've met across the country. And some of my best friends are here through athletics, and my coaches as well. So those are two wonderful things that I have gained through athletics and sports, especially diving. And there's so many other things that it has opened for me, but those are definitely the two major impacts.
Sports for me has opened a lot, and a lot of my open doors came from firsthand. So I chose to do KP exercise science because of course, since I get injured a lot, I've spent a lot of time working with therapists and being in the setting. And so this 2 summers ago, since I had a really big injury, I was in the hospital like 2 times a week doing rehab, seeing how it's run. And that really opened my eyes because I thought it was so cool to see how you can take someone who feels like they just lost everything and everything they worked for is just done for, and turning them around into setting a better positive goal in life and just watching them progress throughout life. Like if I didn't do sports, I would not think I'd be in this career path today. And like Phil said, like we have met so many people like from everywhere. Like I did not think that I'd be coming from the Midwest and going to the East Coast and meeting all these people, knowing I'm not the only one that's like the farthest way. But like I met someone from Australia and like everything, like everyone is just everywhere. And I'm so glad we're all able to connect. Like just because we're different, like growing up situations, we came in and we all work together and have positive mindsets, and just seeing everyone have like goals for themselves and being able to push each other is just really opening.
I'm going to kind of throw a curveball at you and see if what you do when you think on your feet. But what life skills do you think you've learned from your sport? So what do you, when you are getting ready to graduate Maine and leave Black Bear Nation, what life skills have you learned from the discipline of being in a Division I sport?
Some life skills I think I've definitely got advanced at during the sports and everything. I think that determination is a big one for me, and being motivated and not giving up, because like life is like you have bumps in your roads, and being able to push for that and progress to your goals is such a big opportunity. And I think swimming personally has given us like a lot of advanced, like because we have so many teammates pushing us, so it really taught you that you're not alone in any situations. Like there's always someone there. And yeah, I think it just really helped me steer towards my life and outside of Maine.
I think sports has taught you to just never give up. Life's gonna throw you curveballs, as Cam said, and things are never gonna go your way 24/7. I think I've definitely experienced a lot of that, and I think it's taught me just like never give up. Like there are days where things aren't gonna go right, or it's weeks or months, or freshman and half a sophomore year, but things can get back to the way they were if you work hard. And as Cam said too, like we have a team of like 50 people and amazing coaches. And when you turn around after having a bad day, you have all of those people standing behind you. So I think it's really taught me to not only never give up, but also to rely on the people around you for help.
I think sports and diving for me has taught me how to be mentally and emotionally strong. And those are two things that definitely I've built off of. And going into a hospital setting, you don't know what you're going to get. And I think having that going in is going to be especially important for me. And like Cam said, being determined and perseverance and hardworking are all things that I have gained through diving that are going to carry me throughout life, and those big life skills. And I think having those teammates and working together is something that you build off of and you can carry through as well. And it's definitely showed me that you can get kicked down a few times, but still get back up and do well and be better than who you were in the past. And it just throws you those learning curveballs, and just to pick up and, you know, do better than you were 2 months ago is something nice that's easy to carry along throughout life too, that you're not going to always be put down. You can get back up from where you are.
Last thing, and you guys kind of all touched on it at various points in the call and in your answers, is talking about where swimming and diving is such a unique sport, because as much of an individual sport, it is a team sport. So you have your team in your corner when you're on the boards, when you're getting ready for a relay, when you're getting ready for an individual event. So what would you kind of say to girls and other people in sports right now in unprecedented times, trying to get through just the day-to-day where nothing's normal, and you know, you have sports and maybe that's the one consistency? What would be that kind of one message you'd give to everyone right now as we're going through the COVID pandemic?
I would say look for the positives. There's always going to be like those negative things like COVID and trying to get through, but look for those positives, because not everything in life is going to be negative, and you have those things to look forward to and push for and really focus on. And, you know, you're going to get there and maneuver your way, and life is going to take you down a path that you might not expect, hence the pandemic that we're in. But, you know, trying to get through that and find your ways around by looking at those positives is really going to push you forward, and hopefully it'll fly by faster than you think it initially will.
I think just go with the flow. Like, we can't control what's going on right now. Like, there's no cure to COVID, and I mean, I think anyone sitting on the screen right now, none of us are curing COVID on our own anytime soon. So, you know, just go with it and have fun and take what you can from it, because as much as this sucks, hopefully it's not going to last forever and things will go back to normal eventually. So really just have fun with what we can.
I think my big advice would be don't look at the negatives first, because if you're already looking at the negatives, you're already bringing yourself down and not looking to what could happen in the future. So once, like Phil said, make sure you're staying positive, everything, and make sure that if there is a negative effect on your life, like obviously the pandemic, like make sure you don't let that drag you down. Like keep that in mind of that situation to help you push forward and to still have goals in mind and just stay optimistic.
I'm very proud of you ladies before we even got on this call, but your answers kind of give me more insight to you and make me even more proud to be your coach. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me and Black Bear Nation today. We are very proud to have you as Black Bears here at the university.